name is Laura. Welcome to my channel. And what I'm doing today is I decided to make this video about the 5 things that I do in my life to stay raw vegan. What helps me to stay focused and on track being raw vegan. So the number one thing is that I always keep my kitchen organized and I make sure that I have everything that I need. Sometimes I have to go to the store a couple of times a week, but the main things that I get when I go, and I get a lot of, are things that I use a lot of. I have lemons and I have limes, and I keep these all the time. And I keep them in a container like this so that I can easily grab them in my refrigerator. I use a lot of lemon and limes because I usually drink lemon in the morning with water. Sometimes I do, sometimes it's celery juice. It just depends. I change different things. Sometimes I make an allergy shot and I always need lemon. I make a lot of salad dressings and I use lemons and limes. So I always keep those things. I keep a lot of cucumber and zucchini because I do a lot of juicing and I use them to juice. I use them in salad dressings. So I make sure I always have those, and I keep them in an organized place where I can grab them. Right now, grapes are still kind of in season and I've been eating a lot of grapes. So when I come home from the grocery store, I always take my grapes and I organize them in that little glass jar, and I'm always sprouting things. These are chickpeas. I always try to keep something sprouting because I like to have things like that on hand. I throw them in my salad or I use them to make dip, and I always keep some carrots and celery cut up, and I keep a big bin full of different kinds of fruits and veggies that I use on a regular basis. And I also always keep a big glass thing of different kinds of kale because I eat a lot of kale salads. And so these are the produce things that I keep all the time in my refrigerator. Sometimes it varies a little bit, different seasons and whatnot, but these are the things that I make sure that are always on my list when I go to the store, and I run out real fast. It takes me about 4 or 5 days and I'm down to having to go back to the store again. So these are the things that I do. I stay prepped on always sprouting. Right now I've got sunflower sprouts. I always usually have sunflower sprouts, and keeping on my toes with these things just really helps me to stay focused. And if I'm tired when I come home or I've had a long day, it's real nice to be able to just grab at these things, and it really helps me to stay focused on being a raw vegan. Number 2 that I think is important is I think it's important to have planned meals. I think being ahead of the game is one of the most important things, because if you're not ahead of the game and the day proceeds on, I know for everybody, we're very busy in our lifestyles, and most people work, and we wake up in the morning, and the first things that I do is think about my food and preparing what I'm going to eat that evening. Even though it's early in the morning and it seems like it's an unimportant thing, it's actually a very important thing. Because as the day proceeds, it just gets harder and harder to figure things out if you don't have pre-planning. So today I was soaking macadamia and pine nuts because I'm going to be making a cheese with my zucchini squash. So I have all these things planned, and I have some sun-dried tomatoes soaking. So these are things that I do all the time. I don't always prepare a meal like this. A lot of times it's just salads. Most of the time during the week, because it's Friday, I decided to do something a little bit different. And you know, we all get a little bored with the salads, but even with salads, I make sure that I have the things that I need for dressings, and sometimes I pre-make dressings and things of that nature. So these things I think are extremely important to stay raw vegan and to stay focused on this living food lifestyle, it's an important thing to always be ahead of the game. So number 3 is buying in bulk, because if you're trying to buy things in the store, all of these things could really add up to your time and could really add up a lot more money-wise. So you really have to figure out all of your things like nuts and seeds. I forgot to put some of my seeds that I use for sprouting, but I keep those in the refrigerator and I order things like those. But I keep things, I get this stuff from a place called Nuts.com, and you have to find out what kind of place that delivers, in your area. I know there's something like Jaffe Brothers, and I don't have that in my area. That's more West Coastal, I believe. But there's a lot of different companies that will deliver at your door, and it's a lot easier. These are flax seeds, saves you a lot of money too. All different kinds of seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. I get mulberries. These are buckwheat groats because I make crackers, walnuts, chia seeds, all of those kinds of things. I even get nutritional yeast there. And this has been great because when I order, they're usually there like the next day. And, I just think that that's the easiest way to keep yourself raw vegan and to make sure that you have all of these things on hand. Because if you were running around the grocery store trying to find all of these things, and it does get really costly. I mean, these are like a pound, whereas when you go to the store, it usually will cost you something like $10 or $12 for a small 1-ounce bag sometimes of things. Dates, I even get dates through them. And I order things like sun-dried tomatoes because I use a lot of those, and I get those from Amazon. And wakame flakes and dulse flakes and sea moss. I order those online, and I wouldn't really consider those maybe bulk, but I don't really think that they sell those in like big, huge bulk packages. But it will be a lot cheaper and will save you a lot of time. And then when you go to the grocery store, all you need to really focus on is mainly your produce and maybe some frozen stuff, and it just makes things a whole lot easier. Number 4 is actually researching. I did a lot of researching when I started a raw vegan lifestyle, and I did a lot of researching years before that. But I think that researching is really important because you want to stay all the time on the up, and you want to always be refreshing new thoughts, and you want to stay interested, and you want to keep your mind motivated in this lifestyle, because there's a lot of negativity and a lot of things that can bring you to thinking about other things and maybe other foods, just social groups and people and different things that you're doing in life. And I think that doing your own research, and don't ever stop researching, always keep researching, even researching recipes and things. I bought this recipe book the other day because it was at a used store, and it's a raw food book, and it was cheap, and it's just something to get new ideas. I make a lot of my own recipes, and I put together things all the time, and I'm reading things all the time, and this is what keeps me always thinking on track and gives me new ideas. And I think that that's important for anybody who's trying to stay on a raw vegan lifestyle. Number 5 is something that a lot of people would not think had anything to do with a raw vegan lifestyle. But I think that it's very important to exercise every day. Exercise is such an important thing for the human body, and I think that getting those endorphins in your body going, and your lymphatic system and all of those things really keep you on a positive note all the time. And if you're not positive, it's really hard to stay on a raw vegan lifestyle. If you get any kind of depression or negative feelings, exercise always helps with those things. And people who exercise just tend to want to eat better too. If you're in better shape, you really think more about your food, and you think more about your body, and you think more about the important things to make yourself feel good. You don't necessarily want to put bad things in your mouth when you're exercising that hard. And I just always have been a person who thinks that exercise is one of the most important things for the human body in general, but I also think that it can really help on a raw vegan lifestyle to keep you on track. So I'm just going to close with that as being number 5, and I'm going to read this, and this is out of Galatians, and it's chapter 4, verse 2, and it says, "Continue honestly in prayer and being vigilant in it with thanksgiving." So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day.